So this is Sue and Ray, who are from Salford.
Hello.
She has had a few drinks, I'll be honest.
Yeah. Cheers, everybody.
Hi, so just a quick catch up. We've left Yanning and we travelled down to Waging where we stayed at the showground there. That turned out to be really good value. It was just $10 a night with electric and water. So anybody that knows me knows I'm into my cars and I've always fancied one of them big Rams. So when Angie said she'd got something to show me, I got a bit excited. However, that's not really what I was hoping for, but you got to be honest, that's a big Ram.
Biggest Ram I've ever seen.
Guess what Angie has already commented on? Don't really need to say any more, do I? It would be a hell of a big tub of mint sauce, wouldn't it? So when we moved on from Waging, we just had a quick overnighter in Cranbrook last night. It was raining when we got there. It really never stopped all night, so I didn't bother doing any filming. It was literally just a quick overnighter. And today we've driven down to just outside Albany, and we are now here. So this is the Castle Howe family property, and I think it's a pretty new venture for them, maybe. They only allow 3 vans on at one time. And some friends of ours found this on Facebook, so we've arranged to meet them here. But interestingly, these are friends that we've actually never met. These are friends that we have made through YouTube. They contacted us via the channel, and Sue and Ray have got the same motorhome that we have, so we've been a bit of communication backwards and forwards, and we thought it would be nice to meet up. So we happen to be in the same area at the same time, so we're just looking forward to them arriving pretty much any time. So we're going to head off shortly into Albany and pick up a few supplies, and then hopefully when we get back Sue and Ray will have arrived and we can introduce ourselves, which will be good. What we do seem to be experiencing for the first time, and funnily enough we was only talking about this with a couple of nights ago, is March flies. Now March flies, I don't know if you can see this fly here, but he is massive. He's probably 3-4 times the size of a normal fly, and apparently they bite, and they have a really nasty bite, a bit like massive mosquitoes. They suck your blood, and there seems to be quite a few of them around. So we've put our jeans on, off came the shorts, and we're hoping to avoid these little buggers. Of course there's all the normal flies as well. I'm getting really sick of the flies. So Sue and Ray have arrived, and just check this out. We've got twins. Absolutely identical motorhomes. We have been having a chat with Sue and Ray, but I'll just introduce you. So this is Sue and Ray, who are from Salford.
Hello.
These guys have been caravanning for years and have recently moved over to a motorhome. So they're loving it. How long have you had your motorhome?
August.
August? Yeah?
Yeah.
You wanted to say something to your daughter, didn't you, Sue?
No, my sister in England. Hi, Carol. And her husband, Peter. This is us.
Anybody you want to say hello to, Ray?
Probably my brother, Howard, and Mrs. Debbie.
All avid Handlebars and Holidays viewers, I hope.
Oh, yeah. They will be after this.
Anyway, if you want to follow him, you need to subscribe and like.
Yeah.
And then you'll get all the details of all
She's
Australia.
Talking such a lot of sense.
Because, yeah, it does a fantastic job. And, yeah, get over here in your motorhome. Go round Australia. Follow him. Perfect.
She has had a few drinks, I'll be honest.
Yeah. Cheers, everybody. Why not? This is life. Isn't it? In Australia. Yeah.
It's not bad. It's not bad outlook, is it? We're living the dream.
Look at that.
We're
living the dream.
Big backyard.
Yeah, that's
Small house, but a big backyard.
Even the flies you're put up with, because the scenery is amazing.
Yeah.
Isn't that right?
It is good. It's a
is.
nice, it's a good, it's, the flies are a pain, but it's a nice life, isn't it? It's a nice way to pass your time. Just to be able to wake up and just go somewhere else, and it's that easy.
When you want.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So how long have you been retired now, Ray?
11 years.
11 years and moving around Australia most of the time?
If we can, yeah. If
Yeah.
we can.
Yeah. No, it's good.
Big place.
We're all very new, but we're learning and picking things up off people like Sue and Ray. He's been showing me all the little modifications he's made to his van, and it looks like I've got a few to do to ours. I've actually just said I need to borrow you for a couple of days, but he skimmed over that very quickly. He changed the subject.
been there, done that. Bugger off.
Yeah, I'm planning on getting him drunk and then having him sign something.
Oh my God! Seriously? Oh my God! He's got no money.
All good fun.
Though.
All good fun.
Got a good heart.
So we had a really good night last night with Sue and Ray. We seem to have a lot in common. We spent the whole evening swapping stories and such like, and it was great. So we're all packed and ready, and we're off into Albany now to go and have an explore. So we've parked up on the main street in Albany, and we're just going to have a little bit of a wander. We're winging it a bit because there's very fine rain in the air, and the skies don't look very nice, so we could end up soaked through to the skin, who knows. We're just going to have a bit of a walk.
Come here.
I don't think we've ever actually been to Albany when it's been nice weather. Because of its location on the southwest coast, it seems to get battered by the weather. So this is nothing new. We've only ever seen it a bit miserable, really. Albany's a much bigger town than the towns we've visited recently, so there's a lot more going on here. It's way bigger.
Don't you dare. This looks like lakes.
It does look like the Lake District, doesn't it? Yeah. So there was a huge thunderstorm last night. We were shielding under Sue and Ray's awning at the time, and only afterwards did I realise that the camera was on the table. I should have got some footage of it because it was quite impressive, to be fair. But I completely forgot. About 10:15 there was a bit of a lull in the rain, so we dived back to our van because we'd left Sid in the van, so I was a bit concerned about how he was feeling with all the thunder and lightning. But anyway, more or less as we got in the van, the rain stopped, the thunder and lightning went away, and we ended up having a really nice quiet night and a good night's sleep, which was good. Interesting looking dude in the middle there. Sid, as usual, is bumming tickles off everybody. A lady just come out from the bank and gave him a tickle, and there's a guy just rode by on an electric bike. Unfortunately I wasn't quick enough with the camera, but he rode by on an electric bike with one of those little trailers on the back with a staffy sat in that as well. That was good. The rain is just about holding off, just that really light fine stuff. It's all quite cute. Of course it would be considerably nicer on a nicer day, but it is what it is. You're not a bit warm with your jacket on?
Yeah, put my things on there. I don't want to.
You want to take it off?
No, I'll be alright. We'll be getting back in the car in a minute, won't we? There's a breeze. As soon as I take it off, I'll be cold.
Angie has a temperature tolerance of about 1.5 degrees either way. Anything more than that and she's too hot or too cold. I think that's a female thing. So Sue and Ray were telling us last night about the Anzac Museum. I think that's what it was called, in Albany, which she said is really quite good. So I think we're going to go and try and find that this afternoon. But we've made ourselves a nice milky coffee and some sandwiches, and we're going to go back down to the car and have those for lunch, because we're sick of going in cafes and things and paying what is relatively extortionate prices for stuff that's very average, you know. So we decided to do it ourselves today and save a few quid. I think we're turning into our parents. Well, your parents really, more than mine. Mine have never really been into the flask and sandwich thing. They've been more of a cafe wallers than anything else. As soon as my dad goes anywhere, within 5 minutes he's looking for a cafe to have a coffee. Yeah, quite a busy little place, isn't it?
Busiest place we've been to.
Yeah. So we're basically at our furthest southwest point really of this trip, aren't we? We're effectively starting heading in a homeward kind of direction when we leave the site that we're on. We're there tonight, and then we're going to head up through Denmark and Walpole, and the plan is to go to Pemberton and Bridgetown and work our way back up towards Collie to meet some friends for a couple of nights in Collie, and then back around about mid-December for Christmas with the kids. So there's very much a plan in place, and everything's working out so far. We was also chatting the other night about the fact that our north trip, which was about 8 weeks, and this southwest trip, which will have been about 6 or 7, I think, and we've now feel like we've got to the point where we've kind of got things sussed a little bit in terms of what we needed and what we didn't need. We've learned a lot. I don't think we're missing anything now. I mentioned in a previous video we've got a diesel heater on its way, so that'll be fit over the Christmas break, and a couple of other little minor things. But in the main, we're pretty organised and almost ready now for our over east trip, which will start in mid-January is the plan. So yeah, everything's looking good. And as things stand at the moment, taking the car in the fashion that we've been doing for the last week or so is still the aim. That seems to be working out quite well. That's a nice little cafe there. Hey! Absolutely no idea who that lady was. It's always interesting how people react when they realise that they're sort of inadvertently on camera as we walk past. But it's quite amazing how many people feel the need to sort of give you a wave or join in some way. It's nice. Nice little restaurant. Wasn't there one down here?
In Italian?
Actually, I wonder if it was that one.
Could have been.
It might well have been that one, where we had a meal once, and it was absolutely lovely. Yeah, I think it might be. That looks a bit familiar.
Yeah, but it's changed hands.
Yeah, it looks like it's changed hands.
Different names.
This is the trouble, isn't it? You have a good experience somewhere and you remember it. You go back a few years later and things have changed. I think we've got pretty used to cooking in the van these days. We're pretty much taking turns, because it sort of gives you another little interest. I quite enjoy cooking, and I quite enjoy it when it's my night to just sit and wait for my dinner. So it works both ways. I suggested to Angie that we do a cooking with Carl segment, and which she didn't think was such a good idea, but I still think it's a winner, to be honest. So let me know if you think cooking with Carl would be a good idea. Put it in the comments. So we're at the National Anzac Center, and the main sort of building is over there, but obviously we can't take Sid in there, but apparently we can walk around this bit, I gather. So we're hoping that the weather just kind of holds out a bit and we get to have a little bit of a wander around. So I'm not quite sure what we're in store for, but let's have a look. We might well be pushing our luck with the weather, because it's looking greyer and greyer and there's still rain in the air. But we'll keep going for now. So apparently this is the original barracks, where the original Australian gunners lived. So 1891 I think this was built. The original building. Wow. Oh, there you go. Now then, like the kitchen. Huh. Kitchen. I guess this was the bathroom then, really.
So it covers 10 acres,
Yes.
Visual Fortress, the National Anzac Center, which is the building over there. That was built within the grounds of the fortress and opened in 2014.
So what is it? We've just had a little walk around the barracks here.
That's the barracks.
Just,
yeah.
just this first
Have
building.
you been in that building there with a chimney on the outside?
No, what's
You
that?
must go in there. That's the old guardhouse,
Okay,
the original guardhouse. Just push the door and go on in like here.
yes.
There are a couple of cells in the back there. One is kept as a cell,
Yeah, yeah.
so that's interesting in its own. That's the one there.
Fabulous.
Okay.
Brilliant.
Thank you so much. Thank you. You have a good day.
Right,
Yes.
ditto.
Okay, so to the guardhouse. So this is the guardhouse. Ah. This is one of the cells. Ah, yes, there was a couple of cells he just said in here, and that's one of them they've left in the original state. Now, there's the ensuite.
Apparently this is where they locked up all the really bad people. Oh no. I knew it. I'd married a wrong un. Are these all the letters written home?
Yeah, it must. They
If they
must be,
die.
mustn't they? This is the convoy walk. These must be the letters that the soldiers have written back home. Apparently there's fabulous views up here, so we'll go and have a look. I can't imagine that today's the best day to see the fabulous views, but we'll have a look. It's all very, very nicely kept, isn't it?
Yeah.
So apparently this whole fortress was built in 1893. That gentleman we were just talking to, who was explaining a little bit, was in the Royal Navy. He was a submariner, and as such has lost a big portion of his hearing. Must be noisy in submarines. Now that's a decent sized anchor. That's a big one. And there's another big one.
Hey.
That's interesting. Looks like they've knocked down the house and just kept the chimneys. She's gone off and left me. Doesn't care about me, that woman. Honestly. Look at her up there in the distance, doing her own thing. Sid's obviously a bit worried. Oh, that was surprisingly steep. Oh wow, this is pretty impressive actually. Just a shame it's not a nicer day. With a clear blue sky, that would be some pretty damn good photos. That's quite amazing, isn't it?
Look at that. Do a panoramic there, babe.
Yeah. That's pretty damned impressive. Now I can confirm that the flies also have no problem with coming up this high. They've certainly gone with plastic decking up here, haven't they? The timber wouldn't survive very well. Really get battered by the weather up here.
It's a gorgeous view, that, isn't it?
On a nice day, that would be spectacular.
Tell you what, if they were all setting off like that in a convoy, that would be tear-jerking, wouldn't it?
Yeah, yeah. So this is the coastal defences, I believe. Or what remains of them.
No, come here.
What's down here? Do you want to go down there?
I do, if you won't think there's like a bunker.
Ooh. Oh, this is not too good for somebody with a bad knee.
Are we going the right way? Ooh,
I don't know.
Oh, flies on you.
Gun fortifications. Haha. Goes right through.
You can do that one.
Oh. Ah, there's the bullet for the gun. There's the gun. It's a shell, isn't it? Not a bullet. You're talking rubbish. This all happened when Angie was just a young girl. Back in the 1800s. Oh, I think we found a gun. There you go. I'm guessing those trees weren't there then.
Wow, that's big, isn't it?
Can you imagine how loud that must have been?
No wonder.
It'd be
they're all
unbelievable,
dead.
wouldn't it?
And they wouldn't
To be
have
stood
had,
on there when
they
that
wouldn't
went
have
off.
had the ear.
Well, they wouldn't have had
stuff
ear
then.
defenders like we've got these days.
No. Even now, if you wore them, it wouldn't be good for you, would
Yeah,
it?
that you could see that what we were looking at the remains up there was that
Yeah.
sort of ring down there.
Yeah.
Very interesting.
Yeah.
Okay, head back.
Yeah.
Just been reading that the harbour there was used as an assembly point for the troop ships in the Boer War, which is 1899, and then again in the First World War and so on. So goes back a hell of a long way.
The poem was on about the women of the war, what stayed at home, carried on with looking after the families and working the jobs that the men
Yeah,
had
there's
left
two
behind.
sides to everything, isn't there?
And then they had to look after, they either lost the partners or they had to put up with the men for what's left, having
Distress.
seen all the, all
Can
the
you imagine
friends
what it was
die
like?
and stuff.
Watching all the ships
Oh,
in the harbour sort of getting ready to leave for the war.
Terrified,
It
weren't
would be
you?
scary as, wouldn't it?
All the mums and wives and brothers and sisters.
Just as much for the women that they were
Oh,
leaving
yeah.
behind as the blokes that were going to
Yeah.
fight.
Terrified and having to carry on as normal. And how terrified would they have been knowing that they might not come back?
Yeah. Okay, well, we've done well with the weather. It's just about held off, hasn't it? Very interesting. Worth a trip.
Yep.
And then we moved on to, where was it we went next? Hi, so just a quick update. We have left popping out. Hi, so just a quick up and a ride out in between times. Hi, so just a little catch up. So there was a shit. Your parents used to do that all the time. My mum and dad have never really been into the cafe and sandwich thing, but no, what we're talking about. Yeah, click that like button if you think we're rubbish. If you think we're rubbish.
Oh yes.